I hope you had fun with our first lab. In it, you were instructed to build the basic structure of the intro page for the up and running with HTML reference site. In this movie, I'm going to go through each of the steps and discuss how I structured the code. While your code may not look exactly like mine, pay attention to how the code is structured. It doesn't need to match up line for line, but you want the overall structure of the code to be the same. So to open up this file, you'll go into the 02_06 directory and into the finished files folder, and you'll find the intro.html there. It looks almost exactly the same as we had it before in terms of this large comment up top, but then we have the completed HTML below that. The very first thing that we have in our code after the comment is we have our HTML5 document type declaration. Notice that that doesn't have a closing tag. It starts with the exclamation point, it says doc type, and then identifies it as being HTML. After that, we have our opening HTML tag, and at the very bottom of the content, of course, we have our closing HTML tag. We want to make sure that the HTML tag wraps all the content on the page, and we use the language attribute to identify English as the language being used. Now, you may also notice that the code for English, which is EN, is inside quotation marks, and that's important. You want the value of all attributes to be encased within quotation marks. Below the HTML tag, we have the head of our document right here. You can see the opening and closing head tag. And inside that, we have the two items that we needed. The meta tag that is setting the character set value to UTF-8. We're using meta in character set attribute. And then directly after that, we have our page title. So we're using the title tag to identify that. And then inside the opening and closing title tags, we have the text Introduction to HTML. Directly after the head, we have the body of our document. So again, opening body tag and then the closing body tag that wraps all of this content. And inside that, we created 3 sections. And those sections are created by using div tags. And inside those div tags, you can see the placeholder content that I had on the page. They were sort of all by itself before I started authoring this. I went ahead and moved that into those div tags so that that could serve as placeholder contents. So that's going to do it for our first lab. Now, just remember, when you're coding an HTML page, it's best to start out with simply just the basic structure of the page as we've done here. That's going to help you focus on ensuring the page is structured cleanly without the distractions that all that added page content could cause. Now, from there, you can move into adding more complex structure and then formatting that content.